Tipton-Haynes State Historic Site in Johnson City will once again host a Walk in Their Boots. This event allows visitors a chance to see displays of soldiers from the Revolutionary War all the way through to modern day. And here with a preview are Jeffrey Campbell and Chad Bogart. How you gentlemen doing this morning?
Doing great.
Doing great.
Look, always resplendent in your period pieces.
We try.
Yeah. Chad, you're on board for the first time this year, I think. This is the first time I think I've talked to you about this event.
With this time period, yes. Normally I'm Revolutionary War,
yes.
but we're branching
Tricord
out. That's right. We're branching out into some other time periods, so we're going to be focusing a lot on the home front during World War II. We've got 7 different displays this year, including war bonds and victory garden, victory book campaign. I'll be there as an air raid warden talking about civilian defense and scrap drives. So it was a civilian army here in the States that was taking care of our guys going overseas.
That's kind of I think when you study history, you realize that the mobilization of the civilian force here in America when the war in World War II and World War I for that matter as well. I mean, it's just a mobilization.
Absolutely,
it really was.
and we hear the name The Greatest Generation, and it was all across the board. I mean, these people were doing everything they could do to get behind the war effort.
All right. And Jeffrey, we have a lot of new folks that have moved into this area. They may not know what Walk in Their Boots is all about. Can you kind of fill them in, kind of tell them what the days of this 2-day event, what it's going to be like?
Certainly. The event itself is a tribute to the American soldier, our servicemen and women throughout history. And what we do is we present those displays from those particular time periods. It will be encampments. You'll see the equipment used, the vehicles, so forth, so on. So it's really just a way of commemorating Veterans Day and to show the different periods, and you can gauge how things changed as they progress through the years. See the equipment used by maybe a father or a grandfather, and that's the tie-in.
Do you get some the veterans that do show up, and what kind of feedback do you get from them on these events?
Well, certainly it's always nice to get the input from them as to if they wore that particular uniform or if they were with that unit. Many people will often bring in artifacts and say my grandfather wore this, or my grandfather was in this unit. Can you tell me more about that? So we love the chance to engage the public in that way.
And Chad, you all are striving to be as accurate as you possibly can be.
We spend countless hours doing research, and for the time period that I'm doing, it's a little bit easier because there's photographs, and extant pieces, that we can see. For folks like the Revolutionary War guys and even Civil War, it's a little bit more difficult. So these people spend countless hours researching their character, their unit that they were in, and it's just shows you how much they enjoy this and how much heart they put into it to want to share that with the public. And it's all about teaching the public.
Do you enjoy it when the children show up out there too, the students, and they're out there, and it's a way to teach them history, isn't it?
Right, definitely. We have, prior to the event on today, actually taking place right now, is our Education Day. We have different groups that come from, evidently from over the years, from kindergarten through high school, and homeschool that encompasses all of those ages.
All right, gentlemen, we appreciate you stopping by today.
Thank you for letting us come.
Always a great event. A Walk in Their Boots, a salute to the American soldier, happening at Tipton-Haynes State Historic Site, Saturday at 9 a.m., Sunday at 4 p.m., militarywalk.us for more information.